Unlocking the universe. The 7 Hermetic laws of reality. What if reality as you know it is shaped by 7 unseen forces working in harmony? Imagine holding a master key that explains creation, vibration, and the secrets of spiritual transformation. These Hermetic laws are more than mystical ideas. They are a blueprint to mastering your inner and outer universe. There's an ancient saying, when the student is ready, the master appears. Today, I invite you to explore one of the most profound pillars of occult wisdom, the 7 Hermetic principles. These principles derived from the legendary emerald tablets of Hermes Trismegistus, the Egyptian god of wisdom, are more than just ideas. They are keys, and together they form the master key that unlocks the doors to the Temple of Mysteries. This video is a journey through all 7 principles, each one a stepping stone to understanding the universe itself. By the end, you'll hold the master key in your hands. These principles are the framework upon which reality is built. To understand them is to understand how the universe works. To master them is to become the architect of your own reality. So prepare yourself. We're about to dive deep into Hermetic wisdom and enter the Temple of Mysteries. The first Hermetic law, the principle of mentalism. Today we begin with the first and most fundamental of the 7 Hermetic laws, the principle of mentalism. It states the all is mind. The universe is mental. At first glance this may seem simple, but its implications are vast. What does it mean to say that the universe is a mental construct, that our experiences are reflections of our thoughts? Today we'll explore the true power of this principle and how it's echoed in modern science. This principle is the gateway to the other 6 Hermetic laws. It reveals a profound secret. The universe is a manifestation of the universal mind. Some call this the dream of Vishnu. Others, the matrix. But the essence is the same. Everything we perceive is a projection of consciousness. We are all part of this grand manifestation. Each of us is a spark of the universal mind. When we think, create, or imagine, we're tapping into the same consciousness that shapes reality. But if this is true, why do we feel so disconnected from this universal mind? Why does life often feel so separate and fragmented? The answer lies in another Hermetic teaching. Our human mind is limited. It's clouded by experiences, conditioning, and the illusion of separateness. This idea isn't unique. To Hermeticism, Buddha taught all that we are is the result of what we have thought, and modern science is beginning to catch up. Physicist Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, once said, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness." This aligns perfectly with the principle of mentalism. One of the most fascinating scientific experiments that supports this principle is the double-slit experiment. Here's how it works. Scientists fire particles like electrons at a barrier with 2 slits on the other side. A screen records where the particles land when no one observes the experiment. The electrons behave like waves passing through both slits simultaneously and creating an interference pattern. But when scientists observe which slit the electron goes through, something extraordinary happens. The electron behaves like a particle, choosing only one slit. This phenomenon suggests that the act of observation changes reality. The observer's consciousness influences the outcome. It's as if the universe responds to our attention. This experiment reveals that reality is malleable, shaped by the mind that observes it. The principle of mentalism teaches us that the mind is the key to creation. But in today's world, our attention, the most powerful tool we have, is under constant attack. Social media notifications and endless streams of information fragment our focus. We've become reactors, not creators. Studies show that our attention spans are shrinking. The average person's focus is now comparable to that of a goldfish. This is no accident in a world where attention equals power. Controlling where it's directed is a form of control, but there's hope by reclaiming our attention. We can reclaim our creative power. Meditation is one of the most effective tools for this. It's a practice that strengthens the mind. Much like lifting weights strengthens muscles through meditation, we learn to focus, to silence the noise, and to reconnect with the universal mind. At the heart of the principle of mentalism lies the subconscious mind. This is the deep hidden layer of our consciousness that shapes our reality. It's like a video camera recording every experience, emotion, and belief since childhood. These recordings form the invisible molds that determine how we see the world. Limiting beliefs, like "I'm not good enough" or "the world is scarce," are rooted in the subconscious. They act like filters, distorting our perception and sabotaging our potential. But through practices like affirmations, visualization, and meditation, we can reprogram the subconscious. We can replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones like "I am worthy" or "the universe is abundant." The principle of mentalism reveals that we are co-creators of our reality. Our mind is a temple, and what we create within it reflects in the external world. When we allow distractions to dominate, we become servants of our own temple. But by cultivating focus, practicing meditation, and reprogramming our subconscious, we can reclaim our power. We can become the masters of our reality. The second Hermetic law, the principle of correspondence: as above, so below, as within. So without this ancient Hermetic truth inscribed on the emerald tablet invites us to look beyond appearances. It reveals that the microcosm and the macrocosm are not separate, but two expressions of the same universal reality. The same intelligence that forms the stars also shapes the atoms within our bodies. Today we'll explore the depth of this universal law, how it connects with modern science, and how it's echoed in the wisdom of mystics and philosophers throughout history. By understanding this principle, we can apply it to our lives, becoming more complete and conscious beings. The principle of correspondence teaches us that reality is structured fractally. This means that every part of the universe reflects the whole. For example, the cells in our body carry the same genetic code that defines the entire organism. Each cell is in a way a microcosm of the body. Similarly, the movement of galaxies mirrors the movement of electrons around an atom's nucleus. This fractal pattern shows that the same universal laws apply, whether we're looking at the vastness of space or the tiniest particles. The universe is a great mirror, and if we want to understand it, we must first look within ourselves. Just as the macrocosm influences the microcosm, our internal state shapes the world around us. This is a profound truth. By transforming what is within, we transform what is outside from a spiritual perspective. This principle reveals the unity of all things. Jesus Christ once said, "The kingdom of God is within you." Luke 17:21. Similarly, the cosmos contains the potential for everything, and within each of us lies the seed of the divine. The human mind is both an observer and a creation of the universe. Just as the cosmos expresses itself in every atom, we are reflections of the totality of existence. As Hermetic philosophy states, each person is a microcosm, a small universe that when expanded harmonizes with the greater universe. This reveals our power and responsibility. By taking care of our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, we also take care of the world around us. Our internal state acts as a lens through which we perceive the external world. If we are at peace, we see peace around us. If we are in conflict, the world seems hostile and chaotic. This understanding dissolves the illusion of separation between the self and the universe. We are part of a greater whole, and what happens within us is in constant interaction with what happens outside. By transforming our inner universe, we adjust our relationship with the outer world. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist, taught that the personal unconscious is a reflection of the collective unconscious. a reservoir of archetypes and universal truths that shape our experience of life. Just as the cosmos is in constant motion, our inner universe is dynamic and ever-changing. By exploring our inner world, we not only discover aspects of ourselves but also connect with the archetypal forces that govern the cosmos. The spiritual journey, then, is a return to the universal center that exists within us. The principle of correspondence also reveals the unity of spirit and matter. While they may seem like opposites, they are reflections of the same essential reality. Think of spirit as the source and matter as its expression. Just as a statue is shaped from an idea, the material world is shaped by the invisible forces of the spiritual plane. This means that any transformation we wish to see in the physical world must begin within through intention vision. And the mind, for example, DNA, is an invisible structure that contains all the information needed to create a physical organism. In the same way, our thoughts and beliefs are the DNA of our reality. By aligning our mind with spiritual laws, we can shape our material world. The principle of correspondence isn't just a philosophical idea, it's observable in nature. One of the clearest examples is fractals, patterns that repeat on different scales. The spiral of a nautilus shell mirrors the shape of a spiral galaxy. The branching of a tree resembles the branching of our lungs or rivers. The movement of planets around the sun echoes the movement of electrons around an atom's nucleus. These patterns reveal a universal order, a sacred geometry that structures everything from the smallest particles to the largest galaxies. Nature is a living testament to the principle of as above, so below. The principle of correspondence also applies to our daily lives, our external reality, our health. Relationships and success is a mirror of our internal world. Every small action we take is an expression of our mindset, and over time these actions shape our reality. For example, a disciplined mind leads to healthy habits which result in a strong and balanced body. A disorganized mind leads to procrastination and harmful habits which manifest as physical and emotional imbalance. As Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Small, consistent actions create profound changes over time. To live in alignment with the principle of correspondence, we must cultivate inner harmony. This means practicing self-awareness and mindfulness, aligning our thoughts and beliefs with our highest intentions, and taking small, consistent actions that reflect our inner values. When we do this, our external world begins to reflect our inner state. We become co-creators of our reality, shaping our lives with intention and purpose. The principle of correspondence reminds us that we are the sculptors of our existence. Our consciousness is the clay, and our actions are the chisel. Like a mirror reflecting the starry sky, life responds to what we emanate from within. If we seek peace, we must cultivate serenity. If we desire strength, we must nourish it with discipline. And if we want love, we must let it blossom within us. As above, so below, as within, so without. Let every choice we make be a silent prayer echoing in eternity and bringing forth the highest expression of our being. The third Hermetic law, the principle of vibration. Picture this: everything around you, the ground you walk on, the air you breathe. Even the thoughts swirling in your mind is alive with motion, pulsing with an invisible energy. This is the essence of the law of vibration. The third Hermetic principle, which teaches us that nothing rests, nothing stands still. Everything vibrates. This ancient truth, found in the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus, transcends time and culture. From the sacred texts of Hinduism to the cutting-edge discoveries of quantum physics, the idea that all existence is in constant vibration has been a cornerstone of spiritual and scientific exploration. At its core, the law of vibration reveals that the universe is a symphony of energy. What we perceive as solid matter is in reality a dance of particles vibrating at specific frequencies. This means that the chair you're sitting on, the stars in the sky, and even your own body are all expressions of energy in motion. This principle isn't just a philosophical idea, it's echoed in spiritual traditions worldwide. In Hinduism, the sound Om is considered the primordial vibration, the mic hum that birthed the universe. The ancient Greeks too understood this truth. Heraclitus, one of their greatest philosophers, declared everything flows. Nothing stands still for Hermeticism. Vibration is the bridge between the seen and the unseen. The physical and the spiritual matter as we know it is simply energy, vibrating at a slower rate. Every object, thought, and emotion has its own unique frequency, shaping its essence and reality. Modern science has caught up with this ancient wisdom. Quantum physics shows us that the material world is made up of atoms and subatomic particles in constant motion. Even in what we call stillness, particles are vibrating, creating the illusion of solidity. This means the universe is far more dynamic and interconnected than our senses suggest. Einstein's famous equation, E=mc² encapsulates this beautifully. It reveals that matter and energy are two sides of the same coin, interchangeable forms of the same essence. This aligns perfectly with the Hermetic view that everything is a vibrational expression of a single, universal source. Quantum physics also introduces the uncertainty principle, which tells us that we can't precisely measure both the position and momentum of a particle at the same time. This means that at the quantum level, reality is fluid and ever-changing, a dance of possibilities rather than fixed forms. The law of vibration extends beyond the physical world. Thoughts and emotions are also forms of energy, each vibrating at its own frequency. Neuroscientists have discovered that our brain emits electromagnetic waves corresponding to our mental states. For instance, alpha waves are linked to relaxation and calm. Beta waves are associated with focus and logical thinking. Theta waves arise in deep meditation and intuitive states. Our thoughts and emotions don't just stay within us. They ripple outward, influencing our environment. Research from the HeartMath Institute shows that the heart generates an electromagnetic field fast stronger than the brain's. This field vibrates according to our emotional state, affecting not only our own well-being, but also the people and spaces around us. Positive emotions like love, gratitude, and joy emit high-frequency vibrations, while negative emotions like fear, anger, and resentment vibrate at lower frequencies. This is why cultivating positive emotions is so powerful. It aligns us with the universe's higher vibrations, attracting harmony and abundance into our lives. The law of vibration is deeply connected to the law of attraction. In essence, the law of attraction is a natural extension of vibrational principles. When we align our thoughts and emotions with high-frequency states, we resonate with similar energies in the universe, drawing experiences that match our vibration. For example, if you desire prosperity, you must first cultivate an internal vibration of abundance. This means shifting your mindset from scarcity to gratitude, from doubt to trust. By doing so, you align yourself with the universal flow of abundance. Allowing it to manifest in your life. Intuition is another fascinating aspect of vibration. When we elevate our vibration through practices like meditation, our brain IDs, theta waves, which are linked to deep relaxation and intuitive insights. In these states, we become more receptive to subtle messages from the universe, gaining clarity and guidance that might otherwise remain hidden. Love is universally recognized as the highest vibrational frequency when we experience unconditional love. Not attachment or conditional love, but pure universal love. We vibrate in harmony with the divine energy of the cosmos. Mystics and spiritual seekers describe this state as oneness, where the illusion of separation dissolves and we feel unified with everything around us. The law of vibration also has profound implications for our spiritual journey. By raising our personal vibration, we contribute to the collective consciousness. This concept, known as the morphic field, suggests that each individual's actions, emotions, and intentions impact the vibrational field of the whole. When we vibrate in peace and compassion, we infuse these qualities into the collective, creating a more harmonious world. Gandhi once said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." This is the essence of the law of vibration. By elevating our own frequency, we become channels for divine energy, inspiring and awakening others to do the same. How to elevate your vibration in everyday life. Understanding the law of vibration is one thing, applying it is another. Here are some practical ways to raise your vibration and align with the universe's harmonious flow. Mindful words and thoughts. Every word and thought carries a vibration. Choose positive, constructive language and focus on uplifting thoughts to raise your frequency. Meditation. This practice helps harmonize your body and mind, creating balance and clarity. Even a few minutes a day can make a difference. Connect with nature. Nature is a powerful source of pure, balanced vibrations. Spend time outdoors, walk in a forest, sit by the ocean, or simply feel the grass beneath your feet. Conscious eating. What you consume affects your vibration. Fresh, natural foods carry higher frequencies than processed ones. Choose foods that nourish your body and spirit. Practice gratitude and compassion. These emotions emit high-frequency vibrations. Cultivate gratitude for what you have, and compassion for yourself and others. By incorporating these practices into your daily life, you can transform your internal vibration and, in turn, your external reality. The law of vibration reminds us that we are co-creators of our reality. By mastering our internal vibrational field, we master our destiny. As we raise our vibration, we align with the cosmic rhythm, experiencing unity, love, and connection with the all. May we remember in every thought and gesture that we are made of the same rhythm that moves the stars, same breath that gave life to the world. The fourth Hermetic law, the principle of polarity. Picture this: everything around you, the ground you walk on, the air you breathe, even the thoughts swirling in your mind, is alive with motion, pulsing with an invisible energy. This is the essence of the LW of polarity. The fourth Hermetic principle, which teaches us that nothing rests, nothing stands still, everything vibrates. This ancient truth, found in the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus, transcends time and culture, from the sacred texts of Hinduism to the cutting-edge discoveries of quantum physics. The idea that all existence is in constant vibration has been a cornerstone of spiritual and scientific exploration. When we explore polarity in everyday life, we see it everywhere. Consider something as simple as cooking a meal. Raw, cold ingredients are transformed by heat, creating something entirely new without the interplay of opposites, heat and cold. This transformation couldn't occur. It's the balance of these forces that makes the meal perfect. Neither burnt nor undercooked. Polarity also plays out in social and political systems. In any society, opposing ideas, conservatism and progressivism, left and right, create a dynamic tension. While these forces may seem to conflict, they are complementary. Both are necessary to maintain balance, ensuring that society evolves without becoming too rigid or chaotic. The concept of polarity in emotions is equally profound. Love and fear, for example, are two fundamental forces that shape our experiences. Love is expansive. It dissolves barriers, connects us, and aligns us with something greater than ourselves. Fear is contractive. It creates barriers, distances us, and drives actions based on survival instincts. These two polarities are the foundation of all creation. The ultimate alchemy is the transmutation from one polarity to the other, moving from fear to unconditional love. This is the path to union with the divine. Similarly, hatred and passion are two poles of intense emotional energy. Both carry fire, but they manifest differently. Hatred is destructive, seeking to eliminate its object. Passion is constructive, driving us to create, connect, and explore. Human emotions are not static. They flow like a pendulum between these poles. Recognizing this oscillation is the first step toward mastering our emotional states. When we observe polarity in nature and existence, we see it in the cycles of life and death, growth and decay, day and night. The leaves of a tree fall in autumn to nourish the soil, allowing new life to emerge in spring. Without this cycle, life as we know it wouldn't exist. Even the simplest decisions we make reflect the law of polarity. Every choice implies a renunciation. For example, choosing to wake up early to meditate means sacrificing the comfort of sleeping longer. Choosing a spiritual path often means distancing yourself from the superficiality of material life. These choices are the practical manifestation of opposites working together. The law of polarity is also deeply rooted in polarity in science and technology. At the heart of every atom lies a perfect example of polarity. Protons, positive charge in the nucleus, provide stability. Electrons, negative charge orbiting the nucleus, generate motion and energy. Without this electrical polarity, atoms couldn't form molecules, and matter as we know it wouldn't exist. This interplay of opposites is the foundation of everything. From the oxygen we breathe to the star STS in the cosmos, electromagnetic waves, the basis of modern technology, are another fascinating example. These waves are composed of two fields, electric and magnetic, oscillating in opposing poles. It's this polarity that allows energy to travel, carrying signals for radio, television, the internet, and even our biological systems. The law of polarity works hand in and with the law of vibration, creating what we might call polarity and vibration, the dance of creation. While polarity reveals the two extremes of a spectrum, vibration is the force that oscillates between them together. These laws give us the power to shape our reality consciously. For example, temperature is a spectrum between hot and cold. By increasing or decreasing vibration, you can transform cold into heat, and vice versa. This same principle applies to emotions, thoughts, and experiences. Imagine you're facing financial difficulties. Instead of focusing on scarcity, the lower pole, you can shift your vibration to abundance, the higher pole, by practicing gratitude and visualizing prosperity. By aligning with the frequency of abundance, you naturally attract opportunities that reflect that vibration. The true alchemy of polarity lies in navigating these contrasts. When faced with a challenge, instead of focusing solely on the problem, the negative pole, you can choose to see the lesson or opportunity it presents. The positive pole, this transforms adversity into fertile ground for growth and learning. Every moment of our lives offers the opportunity to experience polarity. It's present in our relationships, emotions, choices, and even the small decisions we make each day. True transformation occurs when we realize that we are not at the mercy of these opposites. We are co-creators of our reality. By becoming aware of the law of polarity, we gain the power to choose which pole to align with. True freedom comes when we understand that we are more than the poles we experience. We are the consciousness behind the polarity, capable of shaping our reality. The law of polarity reminds us that every moment is a choice. Are you feeding fear or love? Are you aligning with scarcity or abundance? The power to transform your reality lies in your ability to navigate these opposites and choose the pole that serves your highest good. As Heraclitus once said, "Struggle is the mother of all things." The dance of opposites creates movement, growth, and evolution. By embracing this truth, we can transcend the illusion of separation and step into the role of conscious creators. What will you choose today? The fifth Hermetic law, the principle of rhythm. Imagine the universe as an eternal dance, a continuous movement. From one side to the other, a flow and ebb that never stops. This is rhythm, invisible, yet present, subtle, yet undeniable. The fifth Hermetic principle, known as the law of rhythm, teaches us that everything in the universe follows cycles. There is always an action and a reaction, an advance and a retreat, a rising and a sinking. This law is manifest in the creation and destruction of worlds, in the rise and fall of nations, in the life of all things, and finally in the mental states of man. Everything flows in and out, governed by a pendulum motion that defines existence, just like the waves of the sea. There is a moment of advance and a moment of retreat. What rises will inevitably fall. What is born will one day dissolve when we look at rhythm. In the cosmos, we see the universe itself breathing in a grand rhythmic cycle at the beginning of everything. There was an emanation, a great expansion. But at some point, the universe will stop expanding and begin the reverse motion. A compensation, until everything returns to how it was in the beginning. This is the breath of God, the cosmic rhythm that governs all things on the vast stage of the universe. Rhythm is the invisible maestro. Galaxies spin in cosmic spirals. Stars are born in stellar nurseries and die in magnificent EXP explosions, returning to the dust of space. Each pulse of light, each movement of celestial bodies follows a cycle. Nothing is stationary. Everything dances to the sound of a universal rhythm. Look at the sky. The sun rises and sets in a perfect cycle that sustains life on Earth. The phases of the moon influence the tides, fertility cycles, and even our emotions. The universe breathes, it expands and racks as if the entire cosmos were alive when we observe. Rhythm in nature, we see the same principle manifesting on Earth. The seasons follow one another in perfect harmony. Spring brings life, summer matures, autumn harvests, and winter rests. It is the eternal cycle of renewal. Just as in nature, everything in our existence is governed by cycles: flow and birth and death, inhalation and exhalation. Rivers flow to the sea, but never chaotically. They follow the path shaped by gravity and terrain. Trees grow slowly in cycles of expansion and rest, respecting the seasons. Even the smallest insect, deep in the forest, lives in sync with its surroundings. The lore of rhythm is a reminder that the universe is not chaotic, but deeply ordered. Behind every apparent disorder lies a precise dance, an oscillation that maintains the balance of the all. When we look closely, we see that chaos is merely rhythm we have yet to understand in our lives. Rhythm in human life silently governs every moment from the instant we are born. We begin to dance with the cycles of existence. Childhood fills us with energy and discovery. Youth drives us with passion and ambition. Maturity brings responsibility and reflection. And old age teaches us the wisdom of rest. Everything has its time and each phase has its purpose. But rhythm is not only in the major transitions of life, it's present in our daily lives. Some days we are full of energy, inspired, ready to conquer the world. On others, we feel tired, introspective, needing silence and pause. This movement between highs and lows is natural part of the pendulum that swings incessantly within us. Even our emotions obey this principle. There are moments of joy when the world seems to shine, followed by periods of sadness or restlessness. Resisting these oscillations is futile. The attempt to remain in a permanent state, whether of happiness or stability, is like trying to stop the flow of a river. The concept of the emotional pendulum is a powerful way to understand how rhythm governs our inner world. Think of emotions as an invisible pendulum that continuously swings between extremes. In one moment, we feel joy and enthusiasm, the lightness of a heart at peace. In the next, we may be overcome by sadness, anger, or discouragement. This oscillation is a natural part of the universal cycle that governs all existence. Most of us, however, ever try to resist this movement. When we are happy, we want to freeze the moment, clinging to the feeling as if we could keep it forever. But the pendulum must swing. It is propelled by the very force of the universe. The more we cling to the positive side, the more intensely it swings to the opposite. On the other hand, when we are in negative emotional states, we often fight against them, seeking immediate escape. But just as the pendulum returns to the center, the challenging emotion will also pass. Resisting It is like trying to hold back the waves of the sea with your hands. The secret is to allow the movement to occur without fighting, without attachment. Spiritual masters of all ages have taught us the same truth. Neutrality is key. Hermes Trismegistus wrote, "The master is not a slave to the pendulum. He observes the motion, but is not carried away by it. The law of rhythm cannot be stopped, but it can be understood, and with practice mastered, when you realize that life is made of cycles. You can begin to prepare for its oscillations, avoiding being swept away by them. Wisdom lies in learning to surf the waves of rhythm rather than fighting against them. First, observe the cycle. Most people live without noticing the patterns in their own lives. Yet rhythm leaves clear signs. When you start paying attention, you will see that your emotions, energy levels, and even external events follow a pattern. For instance, after days of intense productivity at work, you may notice mental and even physical fatigue. This is not weakness. It is the natural rhythm of your biological body, seeking balance. Second, anticipate the movement. If you know that a phase of expansion will be followed by contraction, you can prepare for what's coming in moments of joy. Cultivate gratitude, but keep your feet on the ground. Knowing that this state may pass in moments of difficulty, remind yourself that it is temporary. The tide always changes. A powerful tool for handling intense oscillations of rhythm is conscious breathing. When you feel the pendulum swinging too strongly, pause. Breathe deeply. Inhale through your nose, counting to 4. Hold your breath for another 4 seconds. Exhale slowly, counting to 8. This simple exercise helps stabilize your mind and restore inner balance. Another practice is silence. Set aside a few minutes each day for meditation or simply for contemplation. In this state, you connect to the rhythm of the universe without becoming a slave to it. Above all, practice acceptance. Do not resist the oscillations. Accepting life's rhythm does not mean resigning yourself, but rather flowing with wisdom. When the pendulum swings, it is not out of control. It is merely obeying the laws that maintain the balance of the all. The law of rhythm reminds us that change is not our enemy, but part of life's dance. By aligning ourselves with natural cycles, we live in harmony with the universe. Just as the sun always rises after the darkest night, we can trust that after every fall there will be a rebirth. This is the eternal pulse of creation, a truth that echoes in every corner of the cosmos. The sixth Hermetic law, the principle of cause and effect. Picture the universe as a grand, intricate tapestry woven with threads of cause and effect. Every event, every thought, every breath is part of this cosmic design. Nothing is random. Nothing is accidental. Every experience you've ever had, whether joyful, painful, or unexpected, has a cause, and every cause creates an effect. This is the law of cause and effect. The sixth Hermetic principle. It is the invisible force that governs the universe, ensuring that every action has a reaction, every choice has a consequence, and every thought shapes reality. What we often call luck or fate is simply the result of causes we may not yet understand. Today we'll explore this profound law, uncover how it shapes our lives, and learn how to master it so we can become conscious creators of our destiny. When we examine cause and effect in the physical world, we see that this law is the foundation of all existence. It teaches us that every event we experience, from the smallest occurrence to the most significant milestone, is the result of a chain of causes. Nothing happens by chance. Think of a simple example. A stone thrown into a pond creates ripples that spread outward. The stone is the cause. The ripples are the effect. Similarly, every action we take, no matter how small, sends or into the world, creating effects that may extend far beyond what we can see. What we often call luck is simply the result of causes we don't yet recognize. For instance, when you roll a die, The number that appears might seem random, but in reality, it's determined by factors like the force of your throw, the angle of the die, and the surface it lands on. When we understand this, we realize that chance is just a word we use to describe causes. We can't yet see the concept of cause and effect. In the mental plane takes this understanding even deeper. While most people focus on the physical world reacting to external events, like leaves blown by the wind, the Hermeticist knows that the most powerful causes originate in the mind, as the Kybalion teaches the mind is the field of creation, where the first seeds of every seed are planted. Our thoughts, intentions, and emotions are causal forces, shaping not only our actions, but also the experiences we attract. For example, a moment of anger might seem like a spontaneous reaction, but it's the result of a prior cause, a thought or feeling already vibrating within you. That anger in turn creates new effects, a conflict, a misunderstanding, or even an opportunity for growth. The chain of cause and effect is endless, weaving the fabric of our lives when we explore karma. The spiritual dimension of cause and effect, we uncover a deeper layer of this universal law. The word karma comes from Sanskrit and means action in a spiritual context. It refers to the consequences of our actions, thoughts, and intentions across lifetimes. Karma is not just about what we do, but how we do it. The same action can create different karmic outcomes depending on the intention behind it. For instance, helping someone out of genuine compassion creates positive karma, while helping someone to gain recognition or praise creates a different energy. Karma operates across lifetimes, creating patterns that offer opportunities for growth and evolution. For example, someone who abuses power in one life may reincarnate in circumstances where they experience powerlessness, allowing them to learn the lesson of empathy and balance. Karma is not a system of punishment and reward. It is a teaching mechanism designed to guide us toward harmony and understanding. It doesn't give us what we deserve, but what we need to grow. The journey to mastering the law of cause and effect begins with taking responsibility for our lives. This doesn't mean blaming ourselves for the past, but recognizing that in some way we are the cause of everything we experience, whether through our thoughts, actions, or choices. The true master is one who not only reacts to circumstances, but consciously creates new conditions. They plant the seeds of the future they wish to harvest, knowing that every thought, word, and action is a cause that will produce an effect. Imagine your mind as a garden. Every thought is a seed. Thoughts of fear, doubt, or resentment will grow into weeds, while thoughts of love, courage, and gratitude will blossom into beautiful flowers. By tending to your mental garden, you shape the reality you experience. As the Buddha said, what you are today is the result of your thoughts of yesterday. What you will be tomorrow is the result of your thoughts. Today, the master doesn't avoid challenges, but sees them as opportunities to grow and align more closely with universal laws. The law of cause and effect reminds us that we are not victims of fate, but co-creators of our reality. By mastering this law, we become free, not a freedom that escapes the law, for that is impossible, but a freedom that arises from alignment with it. We become conscious creators, true alchemists who transform every moment into an opportunity for growth and self-mastery. As the Kybalion teaches, freedom lies in the understanding of the law. The question we must ask ourselves is, what seeds are we planting today? Are we creating the reality we desire, or are we perpetuating patterns that hold us back? The answer lies in your hands. Be the master. The seventh Hermetic law, the principle of gender picture. A tiny seed on its own. It seems lifeless, almost insignificant. But when placed in fertile soil, something extraordinary happens. The seed, representing the masculine principle of potentiality, meets the soil, embodying the feminine principle of nourishment and receptivity. Together, they spark a process that transforms the seed into a towering tree full of life and purpose. This is the essence of the LW of gender. The seventh Hermetic principle. It teaches us that everything in the universe, from the smallest atom to the vast cosmos, relies on the interplay of masculine and feminine energies to create, grow, and thrive. In this video, we'll explore how this universal law applies to all aspects of existence, from the physical to the spiritual, and learn how to harness its power to bring balance and harmony into our lived lives. When we explore masculine and feminine energies, we see that the law of gender goes beyond the idea of male and female as we know them. It's about two universal forces that exist within everything: masculine energy and feminine energy. These energies are not tied to gender, but are archetypal forces that shape the universe. Masculine energy is active, outward moving, and focused. It's the spark that initiates action, the force that drives creation forward. Think of it as the sun's rays that bring light and warmth, making life possible. Feminine energy is receptive, inward moving, and nurturing. It's the soil that nourishes the seed, the space that allows growth and transformation. It's the moon's gentle pull that guides the tides and cycles of nature. These energies are not opposites in conflict, but complementary forces that work together. Just like the sun and moon, they balance each other, creating harmony in the universe. And here's the key: everyone has both energies within them, regardless of gender. The concept of the alchemical marriage takes this understanding even deeper. Within each of us, there's a dance between these two energies. Imagine a king and queen ruling a kingdom together. The king, masculine in energy, brings structure, direction, and action, while the queen, feminine energy, brings intuition, creativity, and nurturing. When they work in harmony, the kingdom thrives. This balance is what the ancient alchemists called the alchemical marriage, the union of masculine and feminine energies within us. It's not about finding a partner outside ourselves, but about integrating these energies within our own being. When masculine and feminine energies are balanced, we become whole. We gain the clarity to take action, masculine, and the wisdom to listen to our intuition, feminine. This balance is the key to unlocking our full potential and living a life of harmony and fulfillment. The journey to balancing masculine and feminine energies begins with awareness. Ask yourself, which energy feels stronger in my life right now? Am I more focused on doing and achieving, masculine, or am I more in tune with my feelings and intuition, feminine? Here are some simple practices to help you balance these energies. Dance and movement. Dance is a powerful way to connect with both energies. Let your body flow freely to the music, feminine, then add structured rhythmic movements, masculine. This helps you feel the balance between fluidity and control. Combine intuition and action. Spend time in quiet reflection. Feminine, to listen to your inner voice, then take clear, focused steps. Masculine, to bring your ideas to life. Work with archetypes. Think of the masculine and feminine as archetypes, like the warrior and the healer, or the king and the queen. Visualize yourself embodying the qualities of the energy you need more of. For example, if you feel stuck, call on the warrior's courage to take action. You can also apply this balance to different areas of your life. At work, use masculine energy to set goals and stay organized, but tap into feminine energy to find creative solutions and connect with others. In relationships, let the masculine energy guide you to protect and provide, while the feminine energy helps you listen, nurture, and empathize. INP spirituality. Approach your spiritual practice with discipline and focus, masculine, but also with openness and surrender, feminine. The law of gender reminds us that true power comes from within. When we balance our masculine and feminine energies, we become whole, harmonious, and aligned with the universe. This is the secret to creating a life of purpose, creativity, and joy. Thank you for watching. The 7 Hermetic laws are not abstract theories. They are eternal truths encoded in the rhythm of the cosmos, mirrored in our very lives. As you begin to align your thoughts, your intentions, and your energy with these sacred principles, you awaken the dormant architect within you. No longer a passive observer, you become a conscious creator, one whose awareness reshapes the world from the inside out. Each law offers a tool, a lens, and a bridge to deeper clarity, to higher consciousness, and to the limitless potential of who you truly are.